and the children were taken aback by the sudden rise in the tone of Rosa's voice. But Maria's crying just grew louder, and her tantrum just grew fiercer.
ローザさん、子供を頭ごなしに叱ってはいけませんぞ。こういう時は温かい牛乳などを与えると良いものです。ここにあるかもね。
さっき朝食代わりに出した牛乳で空っぽです。
Yeah, I kinda drank a lot more than the usual amount this morning. Should have left some more for Maria. Sorry.
誰か子供用の鎮静剤とか持ってるか？ほら、あの銀の粒みたいなやつとか。
持ってるわよ。ああ、今探して飲ませるから。
Without hiding her displeasure, Rosa grabbed her handbag that she had placed on the sofa and fished around for the medicine. It seemed that she had brought some child-use sedatives for Maria's tantrums. She found it and tipped the bottle into her palm, but it seemed to be empty. Irritated, Rosa shook the bottle several times, but that didn't change the fact that nothing was in there. All the while, Maria's crying was growing more and more intense. Meanwhile, Eva was lying in bed, covered by the bedding. Hideyoshi returned from the washroom, folding a handkerchief soaked in water.
こら、ずいぶんひどい熱や。きっと親族会議のどっけにやられてもうたんやな。今はもう他の親族たちのことは全部忘れるんや。な。
As Hideyoshi spoke to her kindly, he set the soaked handkerchief gently on Eva's burning forehead. Eva rested her own hand on top of his.
あなたの手、ひんやりして気持ちいい。
わしの手が気持ちいいようじゃ、だいぶ熱が出とるな。安心せい。すぐに薬が効いてくるわ。それにな、わしの手は魔法の手なんや。こうしてエヴァの額に手を当てとるとな、どんな熱も立ちどころに治ってしまうんや。
That sure is the kind of magic that I like.
そうね。あなたの手で私の熱が引かなかったことは一度もないものね。
そうや。わしの手があれば医者いらずやで。安心して目をつむるんや。すぐにわしの魔法でぐんぐん熱が下がるからな。
うん、知ってる。あなたの魔法感じるもの。
Hideyoshi was about to say they call that the placebo effect, but he stopped there. If Ella said that she could feel magic from his hand, then that was alright for now.
魔法って本当にあるのかしら。
おお、あるで。信じる者にしかわからへんけどな。そういう魔法は案外世の中にたくさんあるもんや。
魔法が実在するなら、やっぱり魔女も実在するのかしら。
ん？森の魔女ベアトリーチェのことかいな。信じる者にはおるやろな。神様と同じや。信心深い人の前にしか姿を現さんのや。
私もね、昔魔法が使えたの。
ほう、ほんまかいな。じゃあお前も魔女やったんやな。
私がね、絶対に叶えたい夢があって、それを強く願って努力すると、それは必ず叶ったの。私はその魔法でいつも成績は一番だったし、生徒会長にだってなったし、 入りたい大学にも実力で入れたし、いつだってどんな願いだって叶えてきたわ。
そうやな。お前の魔法はいつだって大したもんや。お前は確かに魔女や。そして誰にも負けん努力家や。わしゃよう知っとるで。
私ね、子供の頃からずっと心の中にもう一人の自分がいて、いつも私を励ましてくれたの。そしてその自分は魔女だったわ。森の魔女ベアトリーチェなんて信じなかった。もし六軒島に魔女がいるとしたら、それは私の心の中の魔女のことだってずっと信じてきた。その魔女の自分に私はすごい感謝してる。あなたに出会わせてくれてよかったなっていつも感謝してる。
病気の時のお前はいつも気弱すぎや。今は何も言わんで熱が下がるまでずーっとこうしてるからな。
絶対に手を離さないでね。なんだか私、自分が自分でなくなるような気がして、さっきから怖いの。私の中の魔女がベアトリーチェに触発されてどんどん強くなるような気がして、なんだか私を飲み込んでしまいそうな気がするの。
大丈夫や。わしが一緒にいる限りなんも恐れることなんてあらへん。ほら、ちょいとヤバめな国に旅行に行った時バスごと強盗にあったことあったやろ。わしが撃退したんやで。
あなた、金時計を渡して拝み倒しただけだったじゃない。かっこ悪いけどかっこよかったわ。この手絶対に離さないでね。眠っても絶対に離さないでね。そして何か不気味なものが忍び込んできても私を守ってね。
おう、任せとかんかい。だから今は安心して眠るんやで。すぐに薬とわしの魔法が効いてくるからな。
Eva finally calmed her heart and closed her eyes. Just then, there was the sound of a door being opened violently from the direction of the lobby. It seemed that Maria was having a tantrum, and screams of "ooh, ooh" could be heard, along with Rosa's rebuking yells. That was probably very annoying to listen to. Or maybe it was taking a toll on her headache. Eva moaned as though in pain, and buried herself in the covers. It was easy to guess what was happening. Maria had probably had a tantrum for some reason, gone down to the lobby, and when Rosa had scolded her for it, they had started arguing. And then, it looks like the rest of the family had been too much to bear. So Rosa had taken Maria out into the corridor. Hideyoshi had no desire to interfere with Rosa and Maria's problems. But, just for now, since Eva's condition was so bad, he wanted them to take their work somewhere else.
ちょいと待っとれや。静かにするようお願いしてくるわ。
早く戻ってきて。
大丈夫や。この部屋から出んて。
Hideyoshi removed the chain, opened the door, and stuck his face out into the corridor. He immediately met Rosa's gaze.
大丈夫かいな、ローザさん。
ごめんなさい。うるさくして起こしちゃったかしら。
マリアちゃん、ごめんな。エヴァおばさんな、具合が悪くて寝とるんや。すまんが、ちょいと静かにしてもらえるか。
Maria's tone didn't change after being asked by Hideyoshi. She kept whining and repeating, "My rose! My rose!" Rosa slapped Maria's cheek, lifted her up while covering her mouth, and carried her off towards the entrance, trying to at least put some distance between her and Hideyoshi's room. They would still probably be clamorous for a while yet, but he had at least warned her. Blech. You know, this has always been a problem of mine when it comes to time traveling situations. And now these chessboard games where I have no choice but to witness events that I do not like. I mean, we had that whole ordeal at the end of the second game, for Pete's sake. I mean, I guess so. Just go through the motions, like usual. Although I do have to say, at times, I really wish that humans, like Rosa, would be aware of the events that transpired in the previous games. Otherwise, all we're doing over here is repeating ourselves in these situations. Hoping that Rosa would show her capabilities as a murderer, Hideyoshi closed the door.
またマリアちゃんが泣いてるの？
そうみたいやな。ローザさんも大変や。それを思えばうちのジョージは出来すぎや。親が感謝したいくらいやで。
そうね。
おお、すまんすまん。ほら、魔法の手やで。
He put his hand on Eva's forehead again. Maybe there really was magical power in that hand. A truly peaceful look rose to Eva's face, and bit by bit she began to drift off into the land of sleep. As he had promised, Hideyoshi kept his hand on her forehead. By the entrance, with her hand still against Maria's mouth, Rosa was at a loss for what to do next. She had been unable to withstand everyone's gaze in the lobby, and had yelled at the children to go upstairs, before dashing out of the lobby. When she went out into the corridor, Hideyoshi had told her that she was being too noisy. Where should I go now? Where should I take this child who's having a tantrum? She felt as though she was about to cry in frustration. As Maria kept struggling in an attempt to scream, Rosa put her mouth up to Maria's ear and tried to persuade Maria in as calm a voice as she could manage.
マリアはそんなにもバラが見たいのね。
Maria nodded her head several times, moaning, "Ooh."
どうしてそんなにバラが見たいの？お母さんが聞いてあげるから静かに話して。叫んだら殴るわよ。
マリアのバラ、ベアトリーチェに蘇らせてもらったの。また折れちゃってるかも。マリアはそれが心配。確かめないと眠れない。
It seemed that she was still making a fuss about that marked rose from yesterday. Rosa felt her headache throbbing again, and she was at least a little relieved that Maria had now stopped her screaming.
とにかく今はみんな大変なの。だからママたちに迷惑をかけないで。バラの話は明日雨が上がったら好きにしていいから。だから今は聞き分けなさい。やだ
やだ。マリアのベアトリーチェのバラ。
Rosa reflexively covered Maria's mouth. She had spoken a little too harshly, and had gotten her agitated again. Rosa realized that it was partly her own fault and clicked her tongue in self-hatred. But Maria thought that was directed at her, and her crying grew even fiercer.
お願いだから静かにして。どうしたらあなたは泣き止むの？どうしたらあなたはママの言うことを聞いてくれるの？
Abruptly, Maria stopped crying unnaturally fast. Then she turned around and muttered.
マリアのバラを見たら、ちゃんと明日まで静かにしてるよ。
本当？
うん。バラ庭園に行ってマリアのバラを見たらもうおとなしくする。本当だよ、ママ。
If it would keep Maria quiet for the time being. Rosa thought that even going out into this wind and rain would be a small price to pay. I swear you're killing me here, Maria. You're killing me here. She did think it might be a bit reckless. But in the end, no murder or anything of the sort had actually occurred. All that clamor since this morning had been a farce set up by Kinso. If he had thought about that chain of locked rooms, he communicated more clearly than anything that it was all an act by the victims themselves.
本当にバラを見たらもうおとなしくする？
うん。本当だよ、ママ。
Rosa didn't overlook that creepy laugh, and lightly hit Maria with her fist. And she shrugged, as though giving up.
わかったわ。一目見たら納得するのよ。いいわね。
うん、ママ。約束する。
Once again, Rosa tested the weight of her gun. It's alright. It's only a farce. I was never a murderer on this island in the first place.
くそ、待てよローザおばさん。ローザおばさんとマリアが第二の番の犠牲者なのか。
Oh my goodness. Good gravy. I never even thought of that. Did I? I always thought of couples and all, but yeah, Maria and Rosa also fit the description as well, now that I'm thinking about it. Tearing apart those who are close. God, I'm such an idiot!
くそくそくそ、誰か気づけよ、呼び止めろ。今の親父たちや俺たちは何をしてるんだ。
ローザ親子の痛々しい関係に気を使ってわざわざ話題を変えておるぞ。そなたらも2階へ上がりテレビを見ながら話題を変えておる。
くそったれ。
Well, they're dead. Good Christ, Maria, what is inside that head of yours? Like, is it that you want to reach the Golden Land again with your mother? I mean, that has to be it. That or you're being possessed by a witch. I'm repeating myself for like three games about this sort of stuff, for Pete's sake.
誰か気づけよ。
Like, Maria is kidding me here.
一番近くにいるのは誰だよ。秀吉おじさんか。頼むよ。玄関から2人が出ていくのを気づいてくれよ。
届かん届かん。二人のささやかな時間を邪魔してくれるな。
Hideyoshi kept talking kindly, his hand on Eva's forehead. He didn't notice that Rosa and Maria were going outside through the front door at all. In that case, there was no way that the others in the lobby, which was even further away, would notice either. And the cousin's room upstairs was even worse.
そなたは何を慌てておるのか。第一の晩にて犯人は事故死したとの大胆な指し手にてわらわを打ち破ったではないか。ならばもうこの島に犯人はおらぬことになるぞ。
Oh, I mean, maybe there are more than just one. I mean, I did theorize about multiple people being in cahoots in the last games, like trying to commit murder together. A servant and an adult, for example.
何を心配する必要があるというのか。
うるせえよ、しらしらしいんだよ。誰か引き止めろ。二人が殺されるんだ。誰か止めろ。
There was no way that Bella's voice scream would reach Rosa or Maria. The two then could be seen in the rose garden. The rain was still awful, but fortunately the wind had died down a little. No, maybe that was unfortunate, because if the wind had been a little fiercer, Rosa would surely have hesitated to go outside. Maria found her own rose with a gold lace, and stared at it lovingly. Rosa had accepted with the promise that Maria would only have one look at it. But she didn't want Maria to complain that it had been enough later on. So she decided to go along with her until she was satisfied. She believed that there was no culprit. But if by any chance she was mistaken, they were now in an extremely dangerous position. Rosa realized that thing for herself. If things got bad, she would throw away her umbrella and ready her gun. Keeping the innocently rejoicing Maria in the corner of her eye, Rosa gazed warily in all directions. Were her eyes just tired? Even though no one should have been there, she thought she saw something glitter in the dark rose garden with all its wind and rain. Gold colored? It had to be her imagination. Because to Rosa, it seemed as though gold butterflies were dancing through the rose bushes.
Eva? 無理せんで、やっぱり南條先生を呼んでこんか？
大丈夫だから。この手を離さないで。お願いだから。離さないで。
Eva was breathing wildly. Beads of sweat were appearing on her forehead. It certainly was true that she had stayed up all night last night, and that things had been rough since early this morning. It wasn't odd that her body wasn't keeping up. Even though he understood that, Hideyoshi suspected that Eva's sudden fever was the sign of some serious illness. Several times, Hideyoshi suggested to call Dr. Nanjo, but Eva resisted firmly, pleading with him and saying that it was even more important that he didn't take his hand away.
わかった。でもな、お昼になったら必ず南條先生に見てもらうんやで。それを約束できるなら、ずっとここにいて、お前の手を握ったるからな。こうして気が上がったな。
ありがとう。大丈夫よ。あなたの手の魔法で必ずこんな熱なんか下がっちゃうから。
Even as she said that, Eva's harsh breathing didn't improve in the slightest. She saw an umbrella moving from beyond the rose bush. Rosa threw away her umbrella and wildly lifted her gun. When she did, the figure beyond the bush showed itself. Eva!
びっくりしたわ。姉さんなの？何かご用？さっきの話の続きなの？
ええ、そうよ。お父様の黄金の話よ。
お願いだからマリアの前では遠慮して。ちゃんと約束は守ってるわよ。姉さんの悪巧みの邪魔はしないわ。
悪巧み？何それ？
Damn it. Freaking magic interpretation. This could be beyond which Eva in disguise. Evatress.
姉さんが何を考えていても勝手よ。私は邪魔する気なんてない。だからマリアの前では許して。私は分け前さえもらえれば十分なの。
分け前？
Eva started laughing in a creepy voice. Rosa was startled, but Maria stared blankly. Then, Maria said just one thing.
おばさん誰？
私のもの。この黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェのものよ。
エヴァ、大丈夫か？エヴァ、エヴァ、エヴァ。
握っていて離さないで。私じゃない誰かに連れ去られないように。私の手を握っていて離さないで。
お前が何を努力したの？何も努力してない。いつも私たちの影に隠れてのらりくらり。いつも戦わずに影から影へと逃げ回っていたお前に、後ろ宮家の黄金を無心する資格など本当にあると思ってるの？あれは全て私のもの。後ろ宮家当主にして新しき黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェの名を継承した私だけのもの。
Oh boy. Here it comes. She has full power and is gonna destroy everything. All that gold has gone to her head, like real good now.
ベアトリーチェ。ベアトリーチェだ。
Are you kidding me, Maria? I mean, this ain't even the Beatrice that you know. Please don't make this harder on me.
ママ、ベアトリーチェ。
frolicking around, Maria jumped at her mother in ecstasy. Rosa treated Maria cold-heartedly and raised her gun high.
姉さんよね。姉さんなのよね。
違うわ。私はもはやあなたの姉であった存在ではないの。
じゃあ、あんた誰なのよ。ベアトリーチェだとでも言うの？そんなはずはない。あんたは19年前に死んだのよ。ええ、確かに死んでいたわ。だって私、あなたの頭が割れているところをはっきり見たもの。その中身が溢れ出しているのを昨日のことのように思い出せる。そのあんたがどうして生きてここにいるのよ。
黄金の魔女に死の概念などないの。黄金の魔女とベアトリーチェの名は永遠に受け継がれてゆくわ。お前が知っていたベアトリーチェは死を迎えたかもしれないが、今やそれは私の名である。故に無限。ベアトリーチェに死の概念はないの。
哀れね、姉さん。
That gold has caused you to lose the distinction between fantasy and reality.
もはや私はお前の姉ではないというのに。さて、新しきベアトリーチェとして自らの復活の儀式を引き継ぐわ。ロノウェ、私はどうすればいいの？
ご随意のまま。もはやベアトリーチェ様にはどのような思いも実現できる力がおありです。少し扱えばなれるでしょう。
不甲斐なき元妹よ。私が魔女として初めて捧げる最初の生贄に選ばれたことを光栄に思うがいい。第2の番に寄り添う二人を私がこの手で引き裂く。
The first thing the new Beatrice wished. No. The first magic she tried to use was to surpass the limitations given to humans. In particular, gravity. Oh! She wanted to become fully aware of her transformation into a witch by being released from those shackles. As the witch and Rosa stayed as they were, the crown retreated all by itself, into the distance below them. By now, their feet were no longer attached to the ground. Oh God! Rosa finally realized that the ground had retreated into the distance below her, but that she and the witch had been sucked up into the rainy sky.
Oh, that's okay. Not okay at all. Can you please put them down gently?
To humans shackled by gravity, there is nothing more unnerving than not having their feet on solid earth. However, to Beatrice, who had learned the joy of being released from gravity as a new witch, it was enough to cause her whole body to shake with delight.
ねえローザ、昔小さい頃魔女になって空が飛べたらなって話したことあるの覚えてる？叶ったよ。私が本当の魔女になって叶えてあげたわ。
やめてよ。夢なら覚めて。
あなた言ったわ。夢の中で空を飛んだって。そして覚めたくなかったとも言ったわ。起こした私を恨んだともね。安心して、今度は覚めないわよ。
Come, dance with me in the vast rainy sky. Didn't we wish together to fly like seagulls in the sky? And escape the cramped and boring island of Okenjima? God damn it. Now, I'll make that dream a reality for you. Freaking seagulls. Umineko no Naku Koro ni! That's why I want to share this joy with you, and no one else.
その狭さとちっぽけさに今こそ本当に呆れるわ。だからこそ感じて楽しんで喜んで、私たちが憧れた大空を自由にする力を。さあ踊ろうよローザ。雨の中を風の中を私たちは踊るように飛び回ろう。稲光が私たちを照らして祝福してくれるわ。
The witch and Rosa were like leaves fluttering around in a whirlwind, as the rain pounded upon every part of their bodies, as the lightning occasionally shone upon them. They shook with joy of being released from the ground. However, it was only that way for the witch. Rosa was holding onto her head, voicelessly screaming over and over. A slightly displeased expression rose to the witch's face when she realized that her own joy was not being shared, and she decided to listen to her former sister's request. The whirlwind then had been making Rosa dance around for a week, then stopped. In other words, Rosa was once again bound by the restrictions of gravity as a human. Following the laws that were originally correct, Rosa began to descend towards the ground upside down. Now, she began to fall. The witch hadn't intended to send Rosa plummeting. Yes, you did. But she still wasn't used to using magic. After plummeting about 100 meters into a rose bush, as a very, very natural result, Rosa died instantly. Jesus Christ. In front of Maria too, for crying out loud. Although... yeah. But the witch hadn't intended to kill her. So she willed for Rosa not to die. Huh? And she did. Gold butterflies coiled about Rosa's body, reviving that life just as the witch had wished. Rosa's body, which had laid out a radial carpet of fresh blood, rapidly returned to normal. The broken and crushed bones returned to normal. The torn and smashed flesh returned to normal. How easy it is to break things in this world, and how difficult it is to fix them. Anyone can take a life, but no human can revive a lost life. By surpassing the irreversible, one proves that they have surpassed humans. This surely gave her a much, much greater realization that she was a witch than flying through the sky had.
Beatrice ベアトリーチェ様はすでに無限の魔女であらせられますよ。生きることも死すことも生かすことも殺すことも全ては無限に繰り返される。その輪廻を支配する女王こそが無限の魔女であられるベアトリーチェ様なんです。
金魚鉢を落としたことがあるわ。涼しげな美しい鉢が割れてしまって二度と元に戻らなかった。 床に叩きつけられた可愛いデメキンは二度と泳ぐ姿を見せてくれなかった。私がいくら泣いても使用人たちは壊れたものと死んだものは蘇らせられないと首を横に振ったっけ。あの時学んだのよね。物は壊しちゃいけない、人は殺しちゃいけないって。だって直せないんだもん。じゃあ直せるなら壊しても怒られないということでしょ。すごいすごいすごいすごい。
Good lord. Is this what kids are into these days? You give them magic and all they're gonna do is bad things. For a while, the witch became intoxicated with how terrible and wonderful the power she had succeeded with us. Her life was pure, innocent, and also cruel. Even though Rosa had been revived, she let out a cry of anguish at the pain from her fall. The witch landed in front of her and held out her hand.
すまないわね、ローザ。空を飛ぶのがこんなに楽しいとは思わなかったわ。ごめんなさい。本当にごめんなさい。
No, you're not.
そして人間がこんなにもろく死ぬとも知らなかったの。でも生き返らせてあげたからもう平気。だから起きて。私ともっと遊びましょう。
What were those dreams you told me about when you were a kid? Go ahead and tell me about all of them without holding back. As I am now, I can make anything come true, no matter how absurd. I can let you drown in an ocean of jelly. I can swallow you up in a mountain of cake. Oh god. Eva Triss over here is gonna keep murdering Rosa and reviving her in all sorts of ways, isn't she? This is gonna be an endless torture. I can even make you grow butterfly wings and let you fly around the garden. I'll do them one after another. Let's start with the ocean of jelly, okay? Naruto was once again thrown high into the rainy sky. However, the sky wasn't filled with raindrops, but with drops of orange juice. Eh? As she looked down, Rosa had to doubt her eyes. The rose garden had disappeared, and the ground spread out beneath her was like a pastel-colored jigsaw puzzle. It was from the dream she had talked about when she was young. An ocean of jelly. The black part was coffee jelly. The red was strawberry. The yellow was pineapple. Oh. The green was melon. What was the white part? Apple, perhaps? White? Did Rosa even have the time to think something like that? That, or maybe she was watching way too much One Piece. Like, more specifically, the whole Cake Island arc. Rosa fell towards that multicolored ocean. And sank deep into a grape-flavored purple sea. It really was an ocean of jelly. It had no bottom. As Rosa sank, she was shocked to see a school of transparent fish swimming through the grape jelly ocean.